channel. One big change, as you can see, is that I got my hair cut. I kind of showed a little bit of a clips in the last one, but I wanted to, since I'm going to lose all of my hair with radiation that I started already, I wanted to go ahead and donate my hair that I had, and so I donated it to the Lollylocks organization, which is an organization that actually gifted me a really high quality wig back in 2013, the first time I was diagnosed with cancer. And I call her Topanga. She is a beautiful, beautiful wig, and so I just want to kind of pay it forward and donate my hair so that another lucky recipient could have the opportunity to get their own wig of their own. So I was really happy that I got to do that, before I lost it. So this is kind of, I kind of wanted to talk to everyone about my experience so far with getting my radiation. I kind of started it was kind of unexpected, actually, how things kind of came about. So basically my doctors wanted me to start a chemo drug that was lapatinib. So it's a chemo drug that basically what it does is that it kind of targets abnormal cells, and it has like radioactive agents in the chemo drugs. And so what it does is that it kind of like shines a light on those bad cells, like those those cancerous cells, and kind of tells the radiation like, hey, I'm over here, come get me, come kill me. So I entered into another kind of clinical trial, but the lapatinib is a drug that they already use for women who have brain mets, and they've been using it for a very long time, so it's not anything experimental. It's already approved by FDA. The part of the trial that I'm on is they're trying to see the effectiveness of how well using the lapatinib combined with radiation at the same time, if that will render better results for women. So basically, I had to go through kind of what I went before with all of the trial stuff and everything, and so they had to try to overnight it. It was a weekend and everything, and so I was technically not supposed to start radiation until Wednesday of this week, which was, I don't even know what day, when Wednesday was the 4th. They actually got it on Tuesday, and I wasn't kind of expecting that. It was kind of like, surprise, you're starting radiation today. And that was just like, oh boy. This is what I like to call my mighty morphid tumor killer. So I started radiation, like I said, on Tuesday actually. So I was supposed to start on Wednesday, but I started on Tuesday. And so the very first one that they do, and I will have like a video, like pictures that I'm going to insert, and it's basically their the mask that they put over, and I will show that in my pictures. And so they mold that to your face so that they're able to then pinpoint the exact locations of where they need to target the most amount. So I am getting whole brain radiation, so it's going across my whole brain, but they definitely want to target those certain areas where the tumors are in higher concentrations, and so they do like markings on your face, and so that's why you wear that kind of mask over your face, so that they are able to basically line it up like a grid and make sure that they're targeting those areas every time. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel anything. So I am, as you'll see in my pictures, I'm laying straight down on a table, and I'm kind of just like laying flat there. It's really kind of funny because because they play like almost like clubbing music in the radiation room. And so, but you have to stay still, and I'm holding like a ring, so like under the sheet you'll see, you can't really see, but I'm holding like this blue ring so that you can like have something to hang on to, but you're not allowed to move because you have to be very, very still while the machine is kind of working around you. And they're playing like clubbing music, and I just want to sit there and I just want to like break out in a dance party. It's so funny. And then the other part of me which is really funny too, is like I all of a sudden become hood. Like if I'm like, because they make me take off like my earrings before I lay down and everything, and so I feel like I'm like taking off my rings. I'm like, yes, let's kill this thing, let's do this. Die cancer. So I like all of a sudden become this, like in my head I start like thinking like a ninja, like yes, we're gonna kill it, we're gonna kill this cancer. So I don't know why, but I just sit there and I just like yell internally inside, like kill, die, die. I hope you're dying a miserable death. I don't know. You can laugh if you're laughing at this. I hope you're laughing. So this is me laying down in the machine. As you can see, this is that mask that I have been talking to you guys about, and it's clipped into the table there. As you can see, you can't really see under the sheet, but that's where I'm holding the blue ring, and that's the portion that kind of goes over all over and targets those areas. So you can see on the mask that there are some spots there lined with tape, and that's kind of where they are doing the most concentration of the radiation in those areas, as well as getting the radiation all over through the whole brain itself. So hopefully this gives everyone kind of a more understanding and viewpoint of, you know, how the process works. And again, this whole thing takes about 10 to 20 minutes. It actually takes me longer to drive to radiation than my radiation actually takes. So it's very, very quick, and it's painless until I get out. So I actually tried to do this video after my first radiation. I wanted to kind of, you know, do like a recap and everything that happened as far as the day went, so that I can share with you all kind of my experience and how it is. And everyone is different, so my experience may be different than anybody else's experience, you know. And I've been kind of dealing with, I've done chemo for many years, you know, so, and I've done chemo since back in 2013, and I've been doing chemo, and so for me, you know, I know what to expect with chemo. Like, yes, it's not easy, but I know what to expect. I know how I'm going to feel. This is the first time that I've actually ever done radiation treatment, and so I was kind of nervous because I've just, you know, you do what a lot of people did. I did what you're not supposed to do, which is you go on the internet and you Google, you know, all the bad things that could possibly happen. One person may have certain side effects and may have certain you know, things that happen to them, and others may not have that same experience. Everyone is different, and so, you know, I think that that's probably another reason why, you know, having cancer and treating cancer is so challenging for even doctors, because it's so hard to predict how a patient is going to react to, you know, what is happening to them. And it's a big change, and it's a very sudden change to their body, and your body's being attacked in a way that it's not used to it, and it's, you know, it's going to fight back, it's going to push back on you. And so that's exactly what happened to me day one. You know, the first day it was not so bad. The second day, however, I went in there and I had already was feeling kind of queasy because of this trial medicine. So my trial medicine, it's kind of annoying because I have to take the medicine 3 to 6 hours before I get my radiation, but I cannot eat a meal for 2 hours before eating or taking the medicine. So I have to basically, so if I, like today, I had radiation at 11:30, and so in order to get that 3 hours beforehand, because they want it to be absorbed into your body and to be on an empty stomach, so they don't want anything to coat your stomach, to have anything, you know, in there, because they want the maximum amount of absorption of this drug so that it can do what it needs to do by triggering the radiation to come to those cells and to kill them, you know. So they want the maximum amount of absorption. Now, when I've taken pill forms of chemo before, I've usually have eaten, you know, prior to taking the medication, because of the fact that it's your stomach acids are the ones that are, you know, dissolving this, you know, harsh chemical. And so, you know, and because I already have like stomach issues, you know, it's not great. So, so basically I have to eat 2 hours before I take the medicine that I have to take 3 to 6 hours before I have my radiation treatment. So it's kind of like, so for example, today, I took my, I didn't even eat this morning at all, so I had nothing in my stomach. I took my medication at 8 a.m. so that I could do my radiation at 11:30 today. And then I can't eat anything like after radiation because I feel miserable. So, you know, it's not until I didn't eat today until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, it was just nibbling on like little tiny snacks, and like little sips of water, just because it was so bad. But that first day, for some reason, the nausea is just unbearable. And so my second radiation that I had that was on Wednesday, was, I mean, like, and chemo nausea, like, would usually did me in, you know, and it kicked my butt. But radiation nausea, you win. You win. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You win the prize for the nausea factor. It was not a good situation. It lasted a very, very long time. I actually had to stop at my doctor's office so that they can like really quickly run and get me some, I take an anti-nausea medicine that you put underneath your tongue, and it dissolves like immediately, and it works really quickly. And the reasoning why I do this is because in the past, when they've given me like any other kind of anti-nausea medicine that I'm not allergic to, I end up, you know, getting nauseous and getting sick, and then it defeats the purpose. So I do get those ones, tablets that dissolve underneath your tongue, just so that it's quick absorption, and even that wasn't doing it. And the pharmacist is like, I can only give you one. You can have another one in 6 hours. And I was like, this is not gonna go well. But yeah, radiation nausea, you win, buddy. You win. But we're good now. We have a plan now. So basically, what I do now is that 30 minutes before I go in to have my radiation, I take the anti-nausea medication, so I have it in my system already by the time it happens. And so my doctors, basically what they explained to me is that, you know, the radiation, not only do I have swelling in my brain from the tumors, but the radiation is zapping those and can also cause swelling. So, and they realized that it's most likely because of the swelling, because it was immediately after the radiation. So the radiation finished, I got off the table and I was like, this is not okay. And so that's kind of how they are able to figure out, like, okay, this is definitely the radiation. This has got to be swelling in your head. So they increased my steroids that they're giving me for the swelling that's in my head. And so, so that is kind of helping, but now I have like a jitteriness, so I have like a shakiness that I get throughout my body, like almost like a quivering. So imagine like how one person feels like if you're cold, so say like you're freezing or whatever, and you start to like, your whole body starts to shake. I'm not cold, I'm actually hot because I'm like burning from the inside, but my body just wants to shake, and it's just side effects from all the medicines. And that, all of that I can handle. Like that is, you know, for me, the shakiness and the like nervous sensation is kind of like the least of my worries right now. So I think that that kind of helps. Like if you look at the positive sides of it and look at, you know, what you realistically can handle and what you realistically cannot handle, I think that it will just help in your journey even more. I hope that if you're watching this, that you are not also going through what I'm going through, but you know, hopefully this helps you if you're a caregiver of somebody, or and like I said, everyone is different, so you may have completely different side effects and different things that are going on than what I'm going through. So but it's something to say about the fact that you know, it's kind of mind over matter. So, you know, having realistic expectations of knowing that, you know, there's certain things that you're not going to be able to control. No one's going to be able to give you a pill to make it go away. I tend to not want to even take a pill to make something go away. I rather try to do something that is more natural based in order to get rid of it, rather than just fixing it with a pill. But just knowing what, you know, knowing that you are capable of managing this in a way, and I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. I'm not an expert. I struggle a lot. I don't necessarily like to complain and to, you know, talk about like what I'm going through, simply because it's not an easy subject to have with people, and it's not an easy thing to talk about, you know. But I think that it's important to share with people, you know, what I'm going through, and if this helps somebody, you know, if this helps somebody to, you know, understand what they're going to be going through if they have to go through radiation and go through the same things I'm going through, or if this helps a caregiver, you know, understand more of how, you know, their loved one is feeling, or if this just, you see this and you're just like, I don't want to be this crazy girl who is on YouTube and talking about all of these things that are happening. Maybe I should go and have that bump checked on my chest that I've been, you know, questioning for years, and, you know, I didn't get it checked out, and everyone calls me a hypochondriac, and, you know, and I'm just imagining these things in my head, and it's not actually anything bad. And then, you know, maybe you'll go out and you'll have that bump checked, or you'll realize that you have a family history of cancer, and maybe, you know, it's something hereditary, maybe something you want to get checked out. And, you know, and if that helps you, then, you know, that's one win for me. So, you know, just keeping it positive and making sure that, you know, I'm trying to help and educate people of what I'm personally going through, you know, and kind of talk about it. And this is kind of my easiest way to kind of communicate that with my friends and family, and as well as, you know, anybody out there who's watching. So today is day 4, so I only have 11 more to go. Yay! So I will continue to bring you guys along on my journey and kind of talk to you about my next processes, and there's some exciting things coming up. I know my face is not selling it, But yes, so thank you again, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and I would love to hear from you guys, and any requests on any style of video that you would like to see, or anything, any questions you may have, please feel free to ask me. I'm you know, I'm doing this to be kind of an open book with everyone and kind of share my story. And so if you have any questions, if you want to contact me through email, I will have a link down below as well. So please feel free to contact me and let me know your thoughts. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.